You can take the shape of Shavasana, or you can have your knees bent. And take a nice big exhale. That was an exciting conversation, and I always appreciate input because I'm here in the house by myself a lot, so that's really helpful. And on that note of extremely gentle and self-care, I had two passages that I needed to share today. One is from the Buddha. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. That's a beautiful reminder. Sometimes we need to hear that every day. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Uh-oh, did I lose the other one? Nope, there it is. We'll save that one for the end. So maybe as you're here, you'll breathe in and breathe out with this theme of loving yourself, like caring about yourself and your body. And I know that you do because you're here. Where could you send a little extra love today in your body? Maybe you have a part or parts that are feeling a little cranky, or they have something to say. Send some love there. Use your energy for that. Without forcing, please invite some deep, full breaths. Bring your hands to touch at heart center. Connecting to this chakra. Receiving and giving love to yourself and to others. And the color associated with this chakra, green. Let's send some love out from our hearts out into the world, to each other, to our communities. You can release your arms. And either if your knees are bent, you may want to adjust the feet so that you have room to scrunch your toes and then spread them out. We're going to scrunch toes and fingers. So you can do that with knees bent, or you can straighten the legs out. Just scrunch and spread. So grateful for our digits. One or two more times. And pause and relax. Take 3 deep breaths. Bring your knees in toward your chest. You can have the legs together. You can have them apart with toes touching like an upside down child's pose. Allow this to feel like a gentle hip stretch and low back stretch. And if a gentle rock or a very small rocking side to side feels good, you can add that in. Bring your legs together. Let's hold them together and draw a few circles in each direction. Legs and feet stay together. Switching direction. Release and stretch the legs out. Maybe stretch your arms this time out into a T, pausing, taking a few deep breaths. Breathing it all in, loving it all out. Loving it all in, breathing it all out. Draw your knees in again, please. This time, one hand on each leg and we circle the legs. A little low back love. Switch direction. Release, stretch out. Shavasana shape or arms in a T, or maybe this time arms up a little higher like a Y shape. whole body, inhaling and exhaling, but completely supported by the ground. Two more deep breaths in and out, keeping them comfortable, but allowing them to be full. This time, when you draw the legs in, allow them to float up. Let your arms float up, resting bug, ankles and wrists. You can have a bend in your knees or not. Slowly enough with the circles that you feel. It's very easy to just blow through the movement. Instead, we're very present, noticing, switching direction. And let's take the legs apart and arms apart and together. Any amount. You might just want to go a tiny bit. You may want to just feel a deep stretch. One more time. And again, coming down, spreading out. Where would you like your arms? We've been Shavasana, T, Y. Maybe they reach all the way up and over. See how that feels in your shoulders? Notice your rib cage. So it may have popped up toward the sky. There is nothing illegal about that. Just notice if it feels good, stay there. And if not, maybe draw the ribs down into your mat. Two more deep breaths. Bend your knees. We're coming into a tabletop position, but on our backs. So knees are above hips. Arms are up toward the sky. When we do these, we will feel the core. I'd want you to think that the core goes all the way around the body, not just the front. And notice your low back. I like to press mine down into the mat for this. You might have a natural curve. You can find where you feel the most strong. This is home position. Palms face each other, arms up, legs up. Then we take left leg and right arm away from home position, any amount. Other two limbs stay still, and then you come back. Left arm, right leg, away from home and back. It's tricky keeping the other two limbs still, but you'll get the rhythm. Don't forget to breathe. Opposite limbs reaching. And I am going a very tiny amount. I did a bunch of these this morning, but I will show if you want to stretch the limbs all the way out, you can do that. You go as far as feels okay for you today. Strong in your center. This is also one that you could just, start flying through it and not feel the benefit of creating a stronger center, which helps us in life, physically and mentally. Notice your jawline. Maybe smile. We'll do about 606 more. Let's try one more each way. And then release, stretch out. Find a place that feels good for the arms. You can take the legs a little wider off the mat if you'd like. We rest and we breathe. Notice each breath and allow them to be as full as feels good. Three more whole body breaths. Bend your knees, bring your arms back down. We're going to take the legs wider and turn the feet out. We're going to do the bridges a little bit differently today. It's just a slight difference. I want you to actually tilt your pelvis so that your low back presses down into the mat. And from there, lift the pelvis. Then pelvis comes down and you can tilt the pelvis so that the low back arches off the mat. Tiny amount. Okay, so we tilt so that the low back touches, lift hips, lower your hips, and tilt the pelvis so there's a curve. I'm going to do this nice and slow. Happy low back, strong legs. You can have your arms anywhere. I've just got mine out of the way. Feel the low back pressing down, then the hips lift. And then allow the natural curve. We'll do one or two more. Last one. And bring your legs back to neutral. Arms start by the sides. If you don't want to add your arms, you don't have to, but I'll cue as if we are using the arms. We're going to add a breath this time at the top of the bridge. So we inhale, feet press down, lift hips, arms float up and over. Stay up for your exhale. Stay up for your inhale. Lower down. Exhale, arms and hips down. Inhale, lifting, arms floating. Stay up for your exhale. Stay up, inhale. Lower down. Exhale, following your breath, right? If I'm going too fast, we inhale, come up. Strong, stay up for your exhale. Stay up, inhale. And lower down. One more. Rising up into your bridge. Staying up for your exhale. Staying for inhale. And lowering down. Stretch the legs out. Place your arms maybe up and over or any other shape. Gigantic breaths. Nice big inhales, maybe some sighs out of the mouth, exhaling, letting go. Breathing in the love. Breathing out all the stuff we lug around that we don't need. One more breath here. Arms come down, bend your knees. Take your right leg on top for thread the needle. You can keep your left foot down or draw the legs in. Let your arms rest. If you're in this low variation, like I am with arms resting, you can stay there. But there is time if you want to draw the legs in and hold the shin or the thigh. Taking a few more breaths here. Releasing the legs. Some options. We're staying with the same right leg. I want to give a few options. We're going to switch to just hugging the right leg in. You can hold shin or thigh. You can keep your left leg bent or straight. The other option is maybe a half happy baby. Now, you do not have to hold the foot. You can hold ankle, shin. You can hold behind the knee. But the right leg is in half happy baby if you're going there, and the left leg can stay bent or you can straighten it out. Couple more breaths here. Some extra love for the hips. And you'll release this side. Let's stretch out between sides so we can just pause and notice how the right hip and leg feel. You might even safely lift your head and take a peek and just see how the feet are going. And maybe the right one looks a little different than the left or not. Just gathering information. Bend your knees, left leg on top for thread the needle, taking the low variation, letting your arms relax, but knowing that there's enough time for also drawing the legs in, holding the left shin or left thigh. I have a bug bite on my foot. Allow your jaw to relax, letting your body breathe in and breathe out. A few more breaths here. Begin to take the left leg. We have some choices. Remember, you can hug the left leg in, holding shin or thigh. You can take half happy baby, holding wherever you would like on this left leg. Your right leg can be bent or straight. Deep breath in, nice full breath out. And we release. Stretch out, maybe reach through the whole body, long arms, long legs, and some long breaths here. Yogi's choice. Creating an upside down child's pose, hugging the knees in, but having them wide and toes touch. Or some of you might want to take full happy baby. If you did the halves, maybe this sounds good. And even if you didn't do the halves, but you would like to take full happy baby, you can hold anywhere behind the knees, lower leg, or feet. And you can certainly add a gentle rocking of any amount. Three more breaths right here. And after your third, you can stretch out like we have been, staying on your back, or if you would like, you can turn over onto your belly and stretch out prone using your blanket or your hands as a pillow. And taking some deep breaths into the back body. Even if you're on your back still, imagine breathing and making space on the backside. Noticing each inhale and exhale. 3 more here. And we're going to come on to hands and knees for cat-cow. And then 2 other things, one shoulder and one hip thing. So cat and cow, tabletop. You can please add cushion under your knees if you'd like. I already have a rug and another mat underneath. Find shoulders over wrists, or maybe take your hands a little forward of that. You could make the stance a little bit longer, usually knees under hips, but you can expand on that and see what that feels like, going a little longer. And we inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. You can always switch the breath too. That is a wonderful thing to do. The body will be like, wow, what is this? Switching things up. Maybe take a few with your toes curled under, giving the toes and the soles of your feet a little stretch. Lots of love for the spine. Extension and flexion. And take one more. And then we're going to take care of shoulders first. It's called thread the needle, but it's not the same as when we do the thread the needle with the legs. So we'll take one arm, lift it up. So we're opening, we're twisting, and then the arm goes underneath. So I'm using my left arm, I'm lifting and stretching and twisting, and then reaching under and behind the right arm. I'm not going all the way down to the mat, just reaching under. We'll take one more time. Building a lot of strength in this wrist and hand and arm that we're using as the foundation. Okay, let's try the other side. Right arm, reaching up and reaching under and through. You can always rest and come down into child's pose. Take little by little. We have one more. And allow your knees to go just a smidge wider. And we'll take the hips around in some circles. This is also nice for low back. There's a little movement for the knees. You can have the tops of your feet flat or toes curled under. Switching direction. Coming back to neutral and coming back down onto your mat. Setting up your support for your head and your neck. You can reach your arms out into a T. Take your feet a little wider for windshield wipers. Let the legs go to one side and you may turn your head the opposite way. Back through center, legs to one side, head turning the opposite way. You do not have to have the legs go to the floor. Any amount is the right amount. You can also keep your head in neutral if that's a better choice. Continue side to side, or if you would like, pause. Find one side, pause. Maybe the top hip, the top leg, you squeeze the buttock and release. And you can do that 3 times or 4 times. Squeeze and release. Coming through center and switching if you're holding your side. And then the top leg, that buttock, if you want, squeeze and release. It intensifies the stretch because when we squeeze the butt, it's almost like as if we were going into that bridge pose. We create a little more hip extension. And many of us have a lot of tightness across the thigh and hip from all the sitting and just life in general. Making your way back to center. You're going to stretch your legs out. Take Shavasana shape and notice how you feel. And then add all the props in that you want to add. But just first notice it. Just you and the earth. And I have a little blanket under my head. And then when you're ready, you will add cushions under the thigh. You can cover with a blanket. Set up for the yummy, yummy, yummy rest. I'm paying attention to the clock. You do not have to. Let your eyes close. Surround yourself in a cocoon of love right now and let your body rest in that. You may decide to stay and rest longer or invite a few deep breaths. Breathing in love, breathing out love. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe once again, stretch through your whole body, reaching through your arms and your legs. Making your way into fetal pose, the pose of new beginnings. So something that you need to let go of, you can leave it here now. And we start new from this place. Grateful for the practice. Grateful for this time to rest. And bring yourself up to sit. Connect your hands at heart center. And we'll share the Tibetan prayer that is so beautiful and always extra special in May. So I'll say the line and then you can repeat after. May I be at peace. May my heart remain open. May I know the beauty of my own true nature. May I be healed. May I be a source of healing in the world. Thank you, yogis. Namaste.